What happens when a millionaire YouTube prankster crosses the line in a foreign country? On livestream, Vitaly Zdorovetski thought it was all just content, until he found himself locked in a Filipino prison, sweating in 97-degree heat, with no help from Russia or even YouTube. Vitaly built his empire on chaos, pranks, controversy, and shock value. With over 10 million subscribers and millions in the bank, he lived like a rock star. But all of that changed in an instant. In April 2025, while live streaming one of his wildest stunts yet, things spiraled out of control. Now facing up to 24 years in prison and being called an undesirable alien, Vitaly isn't just battling legal trouble, he's fighting to survive. But what really happened that day? And why are the Philippine authorities so determined to make an example out of him? This story isn't just about a fall from fame. It's about a system that doesn't play games, especially not with outsiders who think they can. Vitaly Zdorovetski had pulled hundreds of stunts before, but this time, it wasn't just a fake snake or a staged brawl. It was real chaos broadcast live to his fans. In early April 2025, Vitaly went live on Kick from Bonifacio Global City in the Philippines, a high-end business district not used to that kind of disruption. What began as another prank video quickly escalated into something darker. He was seen allegedly threatening to rob a woman in public, stealing a security guard's patrol motorcycle, barging into a McDonald's kitchen, and even attempting to snatch a firearm, all on live stream. It wasn't just foolishness anymore, it was criminal, and it was all caught in crystal clear footage. In the Philippines, that kind of behavior doesn't get you clicks, it gets you arrested. But the arrest was just the beginning. What happened next would spiral into something far worse. When Vitaly was taken into custody, the glitz of internet fame vanished instantly. This wasn't a Hollywood holding cell or a slap on the wrist situation. He was thrown into a Filipino detention facility where conditions are described as brutal. Overcrowded cells, no air conditioning, and just $1.20 a day to cover 3 meager meals. At one point, it was speculated that he could face up to 24 years in prison, a sentence that would essentially end his career and maybe even break him mentally. While the official charges included unjust vexation, cybercrimes, alarm and scandal, and even attempted theft, the larger issue was the image he projected to the Filipino public. Authorities weren't just punishing Vitaly for his actions, they were sending a message. In the words of Interior Secretary Johnvic Remula, "We will service his sentence. I will make sure of that." Vitaly, once in control of every frame, was now completely powerless. His wealth, allegedly rumored to be as high as $91 million, meant nothing behind bars. But just when it seemed things couldn't get worse, even more disturbing footage began to surface. Vitaly's downfall wasn't just about rumors or gossip, it was all caught on camera, and not just any camera, his own live stream. Broadcasting live on the streaming platform Kick, Vitaly paraded through the Bonifacio Global City District, causing pure chaos. In one clip, he's seen allegedly threatening to rob random passersby. In another, he allegedly snatches a hat off a security guard's head. He even allegedly stormed into a McDonald's kitchen and allegedly tried to swipe food on camera, but that wasn't the worst part. He's also accused of taking a patrol motorcycle, allegedly attempting to steal a firearm, and allegedly driving without a license, which reportedly resulted in him running over someone's foot and crashing into a parked car. These weren't jokes gone wrong. They were reckless acts that left real people shaken. And once the footage hit social media, the backlash was instant. Clips circulated on Twitter, Instagram, Reddit, painting Vitaly not as a misunderstood entertainer, but as a disrespectful foreigner mocking a country's laws for content. Do you know what's even more catastrophic? Authorities didn't need to prove intent, just that he committed the acts. And thanks to his own stream, they had all the evidence they needed. But as public outrage grew, it wasn't just Filipino officials turning their backs on him. His own country would soon do the same. As the headlines spread and clips of Vitaly's chaotic rampage went viral, many assumed his high-profile status or Russian-American identity might offer him some protection. But what happened next shocked even his most loyal fans. Instead of stepping in to help, the Russian government openly distanced themselves from the YouTuber. Interior Secretary Janvik Ramula revealed that Vitaly had written a letter from detention, pleading for mercy and blaming his behavior on mental health struggles. He apologized, begged for charges to be dropped, and tried to play the sympathy card, but it didn't work. Russia issued a sharp message. They would not be intervening. Even the Russian ambassador to the Philippines made it clear Vitaly was on his own. When in Rome, do as the Romans do, he said, essentially telling Russians abroad to behave or face the consequences. The message was brutal. Don't count on your homeland to save you if you break the rules. Meanwhile, both Russia and the US reportedly refused to take him back, leaving Filipino authorities with a bizarre dilemma. Where do you send someone no one wants to claim? With his online persona crumbling and no powerful allies left, Vitaly now faced something far more terrifying than canceled sponsorships or lost followers, a justice system ready to make an example out of him. Even without the maximum penalty, Vitaly could spend up to 18 months behind bars, and that's not even counting the potential additional time for his other offenses. The authorities aren't backing down either. Despite attempts by Vitaly's legal team to privately settle with victims, Interior Secretary Ramola said security guards involved refused to be bought off. They didn't give in, he said, and we're pursuing the case. But this legal nightmare wasn't just affecting Vitaly. Soon, investigators turned their focus to someone else behind the camera. As the legal grip tightened around Vitaly, authorities realized he hadn't been acting alone. Behind every outrageous clip streamed to thousands was someone holding the camera, someone helping to orchestrate the chaos. That's when the spotlight shifted to Vitaly's cameraman, who allegedly filmed many of the incidents in Bonifacio Global City. According to the Philippines Interior Secretary Janvik Ramula, the unidentified cameraman, believed to be Filipino, is now under investigation and could face charges of his own. Ramula didn't mince words. He is involved in the commission of a crime, he stated. We are still searching for the cameraman. That statement alone added a layer of urgency and drama to the unfolding saga. The charge, complicity in the acts captured on camera. If proven, he could be considered an accessory, making him legally liable for enabling or encouraging the misconduct. This development raises bigger questions about the accountability of content creators and their teams. When a stunt crosses the line, is it just the on-camera talent who's responsible? Or does the person behind the lens share the blame? In Vitaly's case, it seems the Philippine government is making it clear no one is immune. Whether you're pulling the prank or filming it, you're part of the problem, and you'll be treated as such. And what about the United States? Although Vitaly has spent much of his life in America and built his online career there, no US agency has made a move to advocate on his behalf either. Ramula stated bluntly, neither Russia nor the United States wants to bring back Vitaly. That's not just rejection, it's isolation. Now, the once flamboyant prankster with millions of fans finds himself with no country willing to claim him, no system eager to forgive him, and no place to go even if he were freed. But even in his lowest moment, Vitaly had one last card to play, a desperate appeal for mercy, and it all came down to a handwritten letter. Facing a crumbling future, Vitaly Zdorovetski did something almost no one expected. He wrote a letter, not to a lawyer, not to a fan, but directly to the Philippine government. In his handwritten plea, he claimed he was suffering from mental health struggles, expressing remorse and begging for the charges to be dropped. It was the kind of raw, emotional move you'd expect from someone with nowhere left to turn. The YouTuber known for chaos, confidence, and controversy had been replaced by a man pleading for mercy. But the response was ice cold. Philippines Interior Secretary Janvik Ramula confirmed the letter and made one thing very clear. It changes nothing. We will service his sentence, he stated flatly. I made sure of that. There was no talk of leniency, no suggestion that remorse would be rewarded. Instead, authorities doubled down, signaling that Vitaly's time behind bars wasn't just punishment, it was going to be a message, a warning to other creators, a symbol that the Philippines wouldn't tolerate foreign influencers pushing the limits for clicks. Despite his high-profile status and global fame, Vitaly wasn't being treated like a celebrity. He wasn't getting any special privileges, no air-conditioned cell, no legal shortcuts. The same man who bragged about his multi-million-dollar net worth on camera was now reduced to scraps, figuratively and literally.